Hey everybody, we just got back from Mexico and what a time to come home. Very exciting times. You can feel it. A shift is happening.
Yesterday, America stood up, and today, the world's still buzzing.
It was the largest single-day protest against a sitting president in modern U.S. history. Millions in the streets from Washington to Wichita. Organizers say nearly 7 million people showed up across 2,500 plus cities and towns.
And while people were marching, Trump shared an AI fantasy of himself flying a jet labeled King Trump and dumping brown sludge on protesters. Not satire, people. This was real. A real account, real contempt for citizens.
But the world is rising. From Paris to Perth, from Toronto to Tokyo, millions marched this weekend under one message. No kings, no tyrants.
It started in the U.S. with the first No Kings Day earlier this year. And now rallies against Trump have exploded into the largest protests in modern American history. And it's spreading fast because people everywhere are done being ruled by fear.
Americans are marching against Trump's regime. And here in Canada, well, we're joining them because democracy isn't inherited, it's defended.
And let's be honest, Canada's not immune. Pierre Poilievre's out there calling Liberals authoritarian. He's calling the RCMP corrupt and Canadian cities war zones. Yeah, our free healthcare, public education, and community centers are real threats to liberty.
It's pure projection. And it's the same template Trump used. Accuse your opponents of what you're doing and keep gaslighting the country until no one knows what's real.
And Danielle Smith, she's not just flirting with separatism. She's flat out echoing the same U.S. talking points that led to January 6th by sowing doubt in democracy to consolidate her own power.
These people aren't borrowing MAGA's ideas. They are MAGA. They just slapped a maple leaf on a cowboy hat.
So yeah, we stand with Americans marching for democracy this weekend because once authoritarians get a foothold, they don't stop at one border.
The message is simple. No kings, no tyrants, not here, not anywhere. Because this isn't a leader fighting for the people. It's a bloated orange monarch fighting for himself, his family, and his billionaire friends while Americans lose their jobs.
Healthcare slashed, journalists harassed, peaceful protesters criminalized. Teachers are fired for using the word climate, and doctors are being targeted for providing care. It's the same authoritarian blueprint. Create chaos, blame the powerless, and call it leadership.
And instead of retreating, what's great is the world is standing up. There were rallies in Milan, London, Lima, Berlin, Warsaw, Vancouver, Montreal. People everywhere are looking at America and saying, if democracy can fall there, it can fall anywhere.
And the photos tell the story. Crowds filling capitals, small towns, campuses, bridges, and people holding homemade signs. They had flags and banners everywhere.
It wasn't chaos. It was confident and creative. Protesters showed up in full-on character. You had Trump, Vance, Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem in old-school black and white prison stripes. Even had Elvis holding a sign that said, "There's only one king," and the Statue of Liberty wearing boxing gloves ready to fight for democracy.
In San Francisco, people even formed a human banner on Ocean Beach. And across the U.S., there were inflatable frogs, dinosaurs, and bald eagles that floated above the crowds. It was joy trolling authoritarianism with humor.
Because dictators hate being laughed at. And yesterday, the world was roaring.
And here in Canada, the slogan is simple. No tyrants, ever. We're talking to you, PP.
Canadians know that democracy doesn't stop at the border, and neither does extremism. It spills over. Remember Poland? They said it couldn't happen there either, until it did.
And that's the warning. Once you normalize power over principle, it spreads faster than the truth can catch up.
What's also amazing is who's actually showing up. You got veterans, nurses, faith leaders, parents who've never protested before. They're not radicals. They're citizens who finally get it. Silence isn't neutral anymore.
Listen, when you watch rights vanish one law at a time, you either speak up or you wake up too late.
Because while Americans are marching against kings, Canadians are marching against something just as dangerous: complacency.
Complacency lets the rot set in. The fake news, the fake polls, the fake outrage. all imported straight from the MAGA manual.
Just look at Alberta. A so-called jaw-dropper poll showed a separatist surge until reporters discovered that the party leader used to own the polling firm that published it. That's not democracy, that's manipulation.
Danielle Smith flirts with separatism while distracting from her own scandals. Pierre Poilievre parrots Trump and the media keeps airing it like it's normal. He's calling journalists propaganda, scientists woke, courts biased, and now even calling the RCMP's leadership despicable for refusing to play politics. It's the same authoritarian formula. Attack every institution until people don't know who to trust.
And when that happens, the only voice left standing is the one holding the megaphone. And that's how democracy dies, not in a coup, but in a shrug.
And Canada isn't immune. The same dark money tactics, disinformation, and performative outrage that hollowed out U.S. democracy are now creeping north.
And if Canadians keep shrugging it off, if we let complacency win, we'll wake up one day wondering when our democracy started burning.
But the good news? The antidote to it all is what we saw this weekend. Millions of people paying attention, asking questions, and refusing to be played.
So, No Tyrants Day isn't about partisanship. It's about protecting the right to think freely, report truthfully, and live democratically.
Trump's America is isolating itself, literally and morally. The government shut down, troops are on U.S. streets, and ministers are mocking protesters as anti-American.
Leading up to the protests, Republican leaders were running scared and doubling down, calling the No Kings movement a Hate America rally. Speaker Mike Johnson said it would attract the pro-Hamas wing and the Antifa people. Even Senator Roger Marshall claimed protesters were being paid.
But my favorite countersign to that was a woman saying, "I'm not paid. I hate Trump for free."
I think we all do. So that's what happens when a regime fears its people, right? They call dissent hate and they call democracy danger.
And now they've revived one of Trump's favorite scare words, Antifa. They want people to believe that anti-fascism is the threat.
Newsflash, our grandfathers literally fought fascism in World War II. They wore their uniform and they didn't dodge it because they had bone spurs.
Yeah. So if standing up to authoritarianism makes us Antifa, fine. Where do I get my membership card?
And I'll sign up too, right under Allied Forces.
Let's do it. And the former RNC chair, Michael Steele, he nailed it. He said Trump's GOP doesn't want to govern anymore. They want to rule. They've traded we the people for obey the leader.
And that's what made No Kings Day so powerful. It's not about left versus right. It's citizens versus submission.
And here in Canada, it hasn't gotten that bad yet, but cracks are starting to show. We're seeing some very scary signs.
Pierre Poilievre's authoritarian left nonsense, Jamil Giovanni parroting Charlie Kirk's MAGA campus crusade, and Danielle Smith threatening to separate if she doesn't get her way. Oh, and let's not forget Scott Moe following along like a little obedient puppy.
It's the same tactic. Gaslight, divide, and convince people that democracy is the enemy.
We're lucky that it hasn't exploded here yet, but if these leaders keep radicalizing the right, we could be one election away from our own No Kings moment.
The fight our grandparents started isn't over. It just looks different now. We have signs instead of rifles. We share truth instead of propaganda. But the mission's the same: defend democracy.
They're the ones calling liberals and Democrats radical. Well, they're actually the ones following the radical formula. And why are they calling us that? Well, it's because that's what they fear most. Not violence, not chaos, but people. Millions of them. Ordinary citizens realizing they still have power.
The world's learned something in the past decade. You can't reason with authoritarians. You can only outnumber them. You can't outshout propaganda, but you can drown it out with truth.
And don't let them try and fool you with this "we win every debate" nonsense. What they call debating is just gaslighting with a microphone. They dodge questions, talk over opponents, and repeat lies until exhaustion feels like victory. That's not winning, that's manipulation.
Real debate takes facts, honesty, and respect. What they're selling is chaos packaged as confidence.
Canadians have always believed in peacekeeping, dialogue, and unity. Well, this weekend, peacekeeping meant marching, dialogue meant chanting, and unity meant standing shoulder to shoulder with the world.
So what now? Don't wait for permission to protest, carry it forward.
First, go local. Plug into your nearest democracy or civil rights group, whether it's protecting voting access, defending the environment, or supporting Indigenous rights. Find your lane and get in it.
And while you're at it, sign the House of Commons petition E6679, calling for laws that stop politicians from lying to Canadians. It's pretty simple. If the rest of us can't lie at work without getting fired, neither should they.
So true. Next, you want to protect the press. Write to CBC, CTV, and Global when they let Pierre's propaganda slip through unchallenged. And make sure to support the outlets still doing real journalism. Subscribe, donate, or just share their work.
And show up again. The next rally, the next school board meeting, the next town hall. Authoritarians thrive on empty rooms, so we have to fill them.
And we recommend you counter that AI sludge. When leaders push deep fakes and dehumanizing garbage, respond with reality. Post your own photos, your video, your story. Show what democracy actually looks like.
And stay loud online and grounded offline. Algorithms divide, but conversations rebuild. So talk to people. Correct misinformation when you see it, because there's a lot of it. Try to do it calmly and clearly.
And finally, keep the momentum alive. Check the No Kings website for the next event, connect with Canadians marching under No Tyrants, and remind people that this isn't over.
We have all the links in the description below to the bill, to the news outlets, and to No King's Day.
Authoritarians try to exhaust you, that's clear. And your answer, it's routine. Show up, speak up, and follow up. Canada's democracy is not something you watch, it's something you do.
And this weekend, the world proved that we are still in the fight.
So, if you found this useful, then hit subscribe, click that bell, like, and share this video because it helps other Canadians see it too.
You can also join the A-Team, where we're ramping up behind-the-scenes chats now that we're home, and you get your name right here. Thanks to everyone so far for your support. And if you want to support us more, why not check out our merch store? We got everything from mugs to t-shirts and tote bags.
And if you want deeper dives, sources, and behind-the-scenes notes, head on over to Substack, because that's where we really get into our feelings with no algorithms and no firewalls.
Democracy needs numbers, so let's make sure they can't ignore ours.
See you out there, everybody, and thanks for watching.